Yes, the recording stopped, so I'll share two versions, the first one and this other one that we are having now. So purchases are under purchases account, enter. Inventories are affected, enter, and accept. So I hope now we can continue. Roman number 2 is about the unit of currency, which we captured already, isn't it? So let's go to the required. Still under required, we are going to first of all read the question and open up the ledgers. Then later on, we shall now start answering when we already have our what? Our ledgers. So they are saying that part A, process the following items. So that's what we are going to do as a question. But before that, they are telling us that opening capital of that figure is to be deposited in Barclays Bank current account. So according to your accounting knowledge, whenever you read a transaction, there should be a dual effect. There is an account that will be debited, another one will be what? Credited. So what we are doing right now is to identify those two accounts in each transaction, and we open them first. Then later on, we shall now go and do our debit and credit very well. For instance, here they are telling us that opening capital to be deposited in Barclays Bank account. The two accounts there is capital and Barclays Bank account, whereby one of it will be debited, another one will be what? Credited. There I will ask you which one should we debit and which one should we credit. But for now, we are only identifying the two accounts and we create them. So the first one is capital. Can you open up a capital account or a capital ledger? And it will be under what? Capital remains capital. So when you check here, you will find their capital account already there for you. And just enter, and do what? And accept. Finished. Enter, and accept. Let's continue. So the second one in that transaction was Barclays Bank. So go and say Barclays Bank.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Please, we are lost.
Where? From where? We stopped with creating purchases. What else now? Where should I start from?
Opening capital.
We are still on the same thing, ledger creation. And I said, now go and read the question. When you read the question, for example, Roman number 1, under required part A, Roman number 1, they are telling us opening capital of 332.5 million to be deposited in Barclays Bank current account. You people, you're doing accounting. If we are doing this manually, you would go and open up two ledgers. One of it, you would go and draw a capital account, and then you draw a Barclays Bank account, isn't it? Then from there, you will now go and say, maybe, let us debit Barclays Bank account, and then we credit capital. Members, we are doing what you would have done manually, but here you're now putting it in tally. So before we do that transaction, we need to first open up the ledgers in our tally. So you're going to open up a capital account and a Barclays Bank account. So begin by opening up a capital account. Name, capital, under capital account. Finished. Enter and accept. Go to the next one, Barclays Bank, where we are right now. So what is the Barclays Bank under? It is under bank. So we see that we have bank accounts, bank overdraft. It is Barclays Bank is under bank account. And once I put enter, it will show me it is a current asset, which is correct. So I just enter, and I accept. We are not doing anything big. Just open a ledger, classify it, period. What we are doing is ledger creation. We've not started to answer the question. So we shall now go back and read Roman number 1. What should we debit? What should we credit? We pass that entry. As simple as that. Josephine, you just don't want to follow. Out of 128 people, why are you the only one behind?
We are following.
Can we continue?
Yes.
Yes, let's continue.
What we are doing is ledger creation, members. I've not done anything different.
Let's continue, madam.
So Roman number 2 is transfer 151 million from Barclays Bank to Baroda Bank account. Now let me engage the class. If you were going to do this manually, which 2 accounts would you open up for you to be able to do this transaction? Because this is double entry, isn't it? Yes. Which 2 accounts do you open up in Roman number 2?
We open a bank account and the capital account.
No, in Roman number 2. Transfer.
We open the Barclays and then Baroda. Those are the
Correct.
accounts that are-
Yes. We are going to open up a Barclays Bank account and a Baroda account. But remember, even in your double entry, in your fundamental, in the FAP 1, once you already have a ledger, do you create it again? You don't. Even if you don't, isn't it? So we already have a Barclays Bank account, but we say that in Roman number 2, we need a Barclays Bank account and a Baroda account. So we shall only open what we haven't opened yet, and that is Baroda what? Baroda Bank account. So go and open Baroda. Baroda Bank, and it is going to be still under banks. So bank is already there, just click on it, enter, 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 until it brings accept, and you say yes. Members, don't make things hard. These things are very easy. Just follow. So Roman number 3, they are telling us that electricity payment of 52,000 from Barclays Bank account. Plus, you have to pay electricity of 52,000 in Barclays Bank account, double entry. Which 2 accounts are affected here? Which 2? Yes, electricity and Barclays. You've already identified that I need 2 ledgers for me to be able to do this. I need an electricity account and a Barclays. But already you have what? Barclays. So go and only open the one that we don't have, which is electricity. So come and say electricity.
It's like she built this huge wall between us and I can't get to her. Why don't you look for a substitute?
Electricity. And how do we classify electricity? Is it a direct expense or an indirect expense? Because we know it is an expense, isn't it? Now, how do we classify it? Is it a direct expense or an indirect expense?
It's an indirect expense.
Indirect. So go and choose indirect. So you see, you're the one even who are giving me these answers. So electricity is an indirect expense, not income. Indirect expense. So enter, enter, and do what? Accept. We read another one. They said motor van purchase of 4.3 using current account. What is our current account? Our current account was Barclays Bank, isn't it? So now the 2 accounts here is motor van and the Barclays account. But the Barclays account was already open. So just open up motor van. Motor van. And we know that motor van is a what? A fixed asset, isn't it? So you go under list of groups and put there fixed asset. Enter, enter, and accept. I am pausing there before we go to part B. Is there anyone with a question? So far, have you created those ledgers from Roman number 1 up to Roman number 4? Just creating ledgers.
Yes, please.
Okay. Members, to make life easy for you, when you're creating ledgers, just apply your double entry knowledge. That for me to do this, I'll need this ledger. So let me open it up. Even when you forget, you can still open up at a later date. You're going to see with experience. Now I can do this transaction. I open up the ledger and I even do the transaction there and then. But at this level, let's first create the ledgers, then we shall go and start transacting. So part B is about purchases. And now we've already opened up a purchases what? Account. And when you read through, they're just telling us that we purchased from Central Bottling Company 250 crates of Fanta. If you follow through, we've already created all this. We have a purchases ledger. We have Central Bottling account ledger. We already entered our stock. So there is nothing to capture at this level. We shall only go and transact. Same applies to Roman number 2. We already opened up a MOOC painters account. We already captured our black ink. So we just have to go and do what? Do that transaction. So let's go to part C. Members, I hope you're following. We're just reading through to see if there is any ledger we need to create at this level. So part C, they're telling us that process the payment for Central Bottling Company using the current account. So we shall just go and do this transaction because we already have the ledgers in that. We already have Central Bottling Company and even our Barclays account is already there. Part D, obtained a 5-year 12% Barclays bank loan to finance expansion with 56.5. So when you look at part D, there are some ledgers that are going to be affected. What are those 2 ledgers? Can someone add it and tell us? When you obtain a loan, which accounting entries will pass? What are the 2 accounts affected?
The loan account and the bank account.
And the bank account, correct. So we have what we call a 5-year 12% bank loan. And at the same time, we have the Barclays bank account. So the Barclays bank account is going to be affected. We shall be receiving, so we shall be debiting that account. But at the same time, we shall create a liability, which is the loan. So there is one ledger that we don't have, which is the 5-year 12% Barclays bank loan. So write that name. We shall call it a 5-year 12% Barclays bank loan. So this is a loan. How do we classify it? It is a liability, isn't it? So when you come here, you will see that we have a loan advance, which is an asset, but this is a loan, which is a liability. So loans will go under loans in brackets, liability. So you enter, and accept. Just capture the name under liability, loans in brackets, liability, and then accept. Then the rest will be just to go and do what we are supposed to do. Then part E is about sales. They're telling us that SPAR Uganda Limited sold 120 crates of Fanta. Up to today, 100 have been delivered. There is no ledger to create there because SPAR is already there and we already captured our inventory. Makerere Business School sold 90 liters of black ink. Still, there is no ledger to capture. When you look at part F, they are telling us that receive a check from Makerere Business School for the amount due and deposit it in the current account. Are you seeing the double entry there? We are receiving a check from Makerere Business School. So this was our data. The ledger is already there. And we are depositing it into Barclays account. The ledger is already there. We continue. A loan repayment of 6.5 using current account. Still, there is no ledger to create. Part H, according to the bank statement from Barclays Bank, the following does not appear in the bank account. Remember, I told you that we can use Tally even to do bank reconciliation. So they are telling us that at a certain time, the bank statement was not reflecting some items. interest on bank and bank charges. Even these ones, you're going to create their ledgers. So how do we create an interest on bank deposit? When you say interest on bank deposit, which kind of interest is this? Is it an indirect income or an indirect expense? Because they were depositing on our bank, meaning that we earned interest, isn't it? Because it is interest on bank deposit. So on the deposits we had done, they gave us interest. So that interest is called an indirect income. Now go and create a new ledger called interest. Interest, but it's going to be under indirect what? Income. Because it is not interest paid, but this is interest what? Received. So it is an indirect income. Enter, 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 and accept. Then 2 is bank charges. We are going to create a ledger called bank charges. Bank charges. And bank charges is an indirect expense because we don't know when they're removing it. That's why our statement is not reconciled. So we shall put there indirect expense, enter, 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 and accept. So members, we are done to open up the ledgers. I hope by the time we shall do the second question, all of you will be at the same page. The beginning is not easy for most of us, but I know we shall all cross the bridge. So we finished creating the ledgers. I hope you're following. We first began by creating the company. We captured the inventory. We've now created what? Ledgers. Now the next thing, we are going to transact. Transact means we are going to answer now the what? The question. When they tell us opening capital of this to be deposited, we go and do it in Tally. Transfer this to that, we do it in what? In Tally. So that is our next step. So escape from this page until when you go back to Gateway of Tally. Escape. You see, you can even display the ledgers you've created. They are all here. We've created all these what? Ledgers. If you want to edit, I said you go under outer. So escape, escape, escape until when you go back to Gateway of Tally. Are we back to Gateway of Tally so that we begin transacting? I want us to finish this question. Fact that tomorrow we do another one when people can now make sense of what we are doing. Before I handle the last one, taking over balancing. So I'm only covering 2 things, that one, the one we are doing right now, and then taking over balances. And then we shall be through. So are we all back to Gateway of Tally? Can we start transacting? I'm waiting for your response.
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So we can now start transacting. To transact, you see, to transact, we use accounting vouchers. Even the word is here, transactions. We use accounting what? Vouchers. Now, under accounting vouchers, we are assuming that you have already created accounting ledgers. Now, we're just going to go and start transacting by debiting one item and crediting the other. Or maybe you have a compound entry, okay? Or maybe it is a contra entry. Also, in accounting transactions still, we use some knowledge of accounting. I will be asking you, are we receiving? Is it a receipt? Is it a payment? Is it a contra entry? Is it a journal? I hope you recall your fundamental accounting well. So this is the knowledge we are bringing on board right now. And this is what is happening out there. So I'll be asking you now, since we are now doing this, is it a receipt? Is it a payment? Even here, you just use your knowledge of accounting, but I'm going to guide. So can we all go under accounting vouchers? Accounting vouchers, enter. Once you enter, do you see what it displays? It displays the list of ledgers that you created. It displays, we called this a button area. Now this button area is going to help us a lot when we are doing transactions, because it is showing us, is it a contra? Do we still remember what a contra is in accounting? When a transaction is affecting one account at the same time, that is a contra entry. For instance, you're moving from one bank to another bank, or maybe you have one bank that is being debited and credited at the same time. You're going to see these things here. Is it a contra? Is it a receipt? Is it a journal? Are we making sales? Are we making purchases? Or it is a payment? All those things are going to be active here. Now we are going to start answering. Now the questions actually start from part A, under required. So what you're going to do right now is under required. You're going under required.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
On the interface I'm using, I'm not having the thread for list of ledger accounts.
You don't have what? The list of
The thread
ledgers.
for the list of ledger.
It will come when we start transacting.
Okay.
Anyone with the same problem using silver? Is there anyone using gold and for you your list of ledger is displayed?
No one. We are not.
Sorry?
We are not seeing the list of ledgers.
You're all not seeing list of ledgers.
Yeah.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
First, we can see a few, like 3 of them.
Or you can see a few of them. How many are you seeing? Of course,
3.
members, depending on what you're going to do, that the list of ledgers will display, okay? For example, right now I'm under payment. So the only ledgers where I can do a payment transaction are these ones. When I click on receipt, it will again display different things. When I click on contra, it will only bring bank accounts. When I click on purchases, okay, it keeps on changing depending on what you are going to do. So let's first try and we see. Let's first try with the first item. The first item, part A Roman number 1 says, opening capital of 322.5 M to be deposited to Barclays bank account. The first thing for you to answer this, you need to know, what is this? Is it a receipt? Members, is this a receipt? Definitely it is a receipt. Do you know why? Because you got money from your bank account and you are going to use it as your capital. So you are receiving capital from your bank account. That's why we are calling it a what? A receipt. The second question you ask yourself, in this transaction, what are the accounting entries? What am I debiting? What am I crediting? Of course, we all know from our accounting that opening capital, we always debit. We always debit our bank. So the bank is receiving at the same time our capital. So the bank increases. At the same time, our capital increases. So let's first do the first one. If they don't appear, then I check out what could be the issue. So the first one, the first thing is always to identify what the nature of the transaction. Is it a receipt? Is it a payment? So we have said it is a receipt, isn't it? So go under your account button this side, click on receipt, and you see if maybe the list will appear. When you click on receipt, do you have some lists appearing?
No.
Yes.
No.
They appear when you press the account. When you click on account.
The person who said
Hello.
yes, what did you click on? Yes?
I think depending on what you've clicked on, that's what will appear. Like when you click on
Exactly.
receipts, you'll
Yes.
have banks will appear. If you click on sales, the other accounts will appear. The other
I
ledgers.
explained that. I've just said right now, people go under buttons and click receipt.
Hello.
What do
Hello,
you
madam.
have? Yes?
Actually, my experience is kind of different. When I click in journal, it's when I can see all the ledgers that I created. But in
Members,
these other options, it is not displaying anything.
you cannot see all the ledgers you created. Are you seeing anything here to do with, let me see. For example, are you seeing a bank account here? You cannot.
I can explain well.
Sorry?
I can explain for them very well.
Mm.
So what they should do, they tap on receipts.
Yes.
Then after tap on receipts, you press enter. It will display the list. The few Barclays, Baroda, Bank and Cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's first do that and we see. Tap on receipts and enter, then you see maybe if they come.
Madam, mine only come when I press on journal.
Yours come when you press on journal.
Madam, there are some people who have a display that when you press up there, when you click on receipt, on the upper left corner, there is receipt. But
Yes.
under it, there is account. So when you click on that space where you're supposed to put the account, the accounts will display.
Okay. Thank you. Can you repeat for them? Because members, don't just click anything. That's for me, when I click journal, it comes. It means now what you're going to do is a journal, not a receipt. So every transaction, I'll be telling you what to click on. So repeat for them.
Yes, I said if you are going to make a receipt, they click on receipt.
Yes.
They will not appear immediately.
Yes.
But on your left upper corner of the screen, there is
Yes.
that receipt in red which appears. Below it, we have account. And on that account, there is where you're supposed to put the account. You click there, the things will display.
Okay. So I think you have got it, because now mine is a different version. It will not bring that. They will automatically come. So, but if they come, our understanding will remain the same. What I'm going to do here is what you're going to do that side. So the first transaction is the receipt. It's not a journal, it's not a contract, it's not a payment. So Mariam is still saying they are not.
Let Mariam try to type Barclays, BA, they appear.
But you repeat once more.
Okay, you click on receipt.
Yes.
Then on the upper left corner of the screen, there is receipt in red. It will display that you're on the receipt screen.
Yes.
Then below it, you have account, and there is where you're supposed to type or click and select. Now, when you click there, you can start typing Barclays based on the account. They've told you that the
Barclays will come. Yes.
Yes, they will appear Barclays, Baroda, and even Cash. They will come.
Yes, yes. Members, please listen. Yes.
If I click on account, then start typing Barclays, it only brings Barclays Bank, then Baroda.
Because it's what you've typed. Try to type another thing and see if it will not come. Type capital and see.
Madam, excuse me.
Yes.
This is what some other people should do. Click on receipt.
Yes.
Then go to the 4 arrows pointing left, right, up and down. Then you click on the one pointing up, they will appear.
Members, have you seen?
So
have you heard what Amy has said? Amy, repeat for them.
I'm saying you click on receipts, then you go to your keyboard. You click on those on the 4 arrows. You click on the one pointing up.
Then they will all display. Has someone done
Display, for
that?
example, so if you are in the receipt, then the banks will appear, bank and the cash. Then if you are in sales, if they are not there again, you click on that that arrow pointing up, they will appear.
Okay. Now let me make, we are going to do that, what our colleagues have shared. Someone is saying, madam, they have appeared. Others said it displays only. Don't worry about what it displays. What it displays depends on the nature of the transaction. It will not display for you things that you're supposed to do under purchases, yet you've not clicked on purchase. It will not display for you things you're supposed to do under maybe a contra, yet you are in a different thing. So relax. If you have only 4 things, so long as something has appeared. And also there is one person who has said you can even type, like if the word begins with CA, you type and capital maybe will come. So can we first try out and we see? Then the person who said me, I escaped, I exited accidentally. Your work is still there. Just go and drag the folder back to Tally. What we did in the beginning, drag the folder to Tally, open it, put the password, then come back to where we are under accounting vouchers. So once you, even in the exam, once you exit by accident, don't sweat. Whatever you have already done is there. There is nothing like my work has disappeared. So can we continue? Some people are saying theirs have appeared. We continue? Hey, I'm not seeing any feedback.
Yes.
Okay. So, because it is a receipt, click on receipt. And now, the other thing is, which account are we debiting? Which account are we doing what? Crediting. So, because it is a receipt, it will always begin with what you're crediting. You see, it is bringing credit. So, what are we crediting? We are crediting capital. So, in the ledgers that have appeared here, click capital. For you, if you don't have capital, try to type C and capital will come. So the moment I put capital, it is asking me how much are you crediting under capital. Then I put the figure they've told me.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yes.
I think on some versions it begins with debit.
Yes, now if it begins with debit, then debit. That's why I said it is important to know what to debit and what to credit, right? So what are we debiting? We are debiting Barclays Bank and crediting capital. So write the double entry there. Debit bank, credit capital. Then pass it. If it is beginning with debit, go debit the bank. If it is beginning with credit, credit capital, then the corresponding one will be debit bank. Clear?
No, madam.
Yes.
Mine doesn't bring about the debit and credit. Like after particulars, it just brings a space.
It's because you didn't configure.
I did.
Anyone with a similar problem? Where we said, do you remember when I said that go and activate, use debit or credit?
Yes, madam, I did.
Now, how come it is not bringing?
I don't know.
Madam, mine too doesn't bring debit and credit. Even that capital, it doesn't bring it. Just brings cash, even if you type it there.
It just brings only cash, eh?
Yes, madam.
It's going to be hard for us to continue.
Madam,
Because
the
now,
problem
yes.
The problem is that we're using different versions and members want their screen with a
to look
different
like
version.
mine.
same with yours with a different version. That's the problem here. Otherwise, we would be very far by now.
For
Excuse
you, do
me,
you
please.
have the debit credit?
Madam,
Yes.
madam,
Yes.
on my interface, I'm seeing receipt.
Yes.
Below receipt is account. And that account, it is requesting for something that you should input there for me to proceed to the next thing of either debiting or crediting. So in the
Yes.
field for account, what should we put there?
In the field
Because for it, for account below receipt. Yes. And actually after that, there is QRU balance and then particulars. So which item should we select to include an account before debit or credit?
The account is the capital or the bank, the ones that you created already.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes.
I think that very person who has just asked is using the version I'm using. Under account, it is the account we are going to debit.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling him.
Yes, we'll put Barclays. Then under particulars, we shall put the capital account. And when you put the amount, the debit and credit signs will appear.
Okay. Kathy has a question. Now, what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to be teaching this version, the other version, tomorrow. Dean, can you share with me the version you're using so that I confirm if it is the one you're going to use in the exams? If it is the one you're going to use in the exams, then I will start using that one. If not, then I will have to give them the updated one I'm using, because this is the newest version of Tally. Maybe they've not yet updated theirs.
Exactly. The version that I'm using, it does not even show the option of debit or credit. Actually, in the field for account, after selecting say Barclays Bank, below Barclays Bank, there is CUR balance. Then when you press enter, it takes me to particulars and it opens up a row. And under that row, I can select the account, say capital.
Yes.
And it just shows on my left extreme right, I can have a field for amount, but it does not specify whether it is a debit entry or a credit entry.
Now, Johnson, after putting the amount, which is 322,500,000, just press enter. It will bring debit and credit. We're using the same version. It will come, just press enter.
Let me try it out.
Okay, members, so that's, I don't want you to forget what you've already learned. Someone is saying the issue is not Tally, but computer functionality. No, sometimes it is to do with the software. Okay, so what we are going to do, I don't want you to forget what we've already done, because we've come from far. This will not change irrespective of the what? Of the software. But now, on answering the real question, we need to be at the same page. What I'm going to do, Dean, tomorrow, you will share with me that version. Then I confirm. If it is the one you're going to use for exams, then I will teach using that. But if not, then I'll share this software to the lab and also share to all of you people so that we are on the same page to make life easier for all of us. Okay. But what we have moved already is almost 60%.
Madam.
Yes.
Madam, excuse me. The version we are using is the one which we got from the internet directly. Like you just go to the page of Twitter and then you download that one which we are using.
Members, I said don't download. Okay, members. Tomorrow I'm going to send the software I'm using, because now I'm realizing some people downloaded from the internet or what. Okay, Let me make the space clear. Tomorrow I'm going to send you a software. Please install it. Install it so that we are going to be having the same everything, okay? And then when we meet, instead of me doing question 2, we shall repeat question 1, this time around with the same software, but this time around we shall be fast until where we have stopped so that we can transact. Then question 2, you will see that it is the same as question 1.
Now, my question is, how are you going to send the link? Because some people can't access campus as per now. Like, we can't all go to Dean to give us the copy. So how shall you?
I'm going to see if I can share it on mail. I'm going to see what to do tomorrow. For now, because now
you can send to via.
Because members, if we start learning using different software in the exam, we shall get stuck. I know what to do when I'm to share. If I'll see what to do. Okay. So first agreement is what we have covered today does not change. I mean, from the beginning, isn't it? It will not change. So when we get the software, we shall quickly go back through the question so that we now, because now mine is, I'm going to close it and it will stop where we have ended today, such that we can now transact, and that will be done. The next lecture, I will only teach taking over balances, and we shall be through with study. Now, I don't know what time should we have our lecture tomorrow. Now, this is going to depend on how quickly we can install the software. Someone is saying we go to the computer lab, but some people cannot fit in the lab. We are very many, and because of social distancing. And now when I say let me teach internal only and external only, we shall waste time. I only need 2 lectures to complete this thing. So let me see how quickly I can get it tomorrow. Maybe we can have it in the evening. So someone is saying we use big lecture at 7 p.m. members, which is not possible. Some of you live in the university and others come from home. Let us install the software as soon as we get it. And then those of you who are sharp enough, you can already start working the question using that software until where we have stopped. Create the company, open up those ledgers and stop there. I'm going to share this recording. And even I shared the first ones. I don't know if the coordinators shared to you, but I did. So members, we cannot all have a consensus. Let me first get you the software tomorrow. We install it. Then we see if we can again meet maybe tomorrow at 7. May I have no problem. At 7, I'm already home because of curfew, so that we can repeat using the same software. So that when we have the other lecture, I'm only summarizing and we are good to go. Is that fine?
It is okay, madam. It's okay.
Okay, have a good
It's
evening.
okay. Coordinator, please share the screen recording. Coordinator, please share the screen recording. We need it. We need the screen recording, please.
She will share it, stop stressing.